Alright guys, I've got my peaches washed and I'm going to be making some peaches to can in a simple syrup, and then I'm also going to do a small batch of peach salsa, but this opening will be for both videos. So I'll see you in a little bit. This is a little 2-cup bowl, and I'm just gonna cut these up. Little chunks. Alright guys, I'm just going to keep doing that till I get 10 cups, and then I'll bring you back for the next step. Alright, I'm doing half a recipe of my peach salsa, so I've got 10 cups of peaches cut up. Next, I'm going to work on getting us 3 cups of onions. Alright, we gotta have 3 cups of onions. I don't know where all my measuring cups I've got off too. Kind of doing these kind of small. This little bowl's a 2-cup bowl, so that's what I'm going to use for my measuring. And I'm going to keep doing that till I get them all this size, and 3 cups, and I'll bring you back. Next, we're cutting up 3 jalapenos. And what I made last year, I made kind of mild. I didn't cut the seeds. I didn't take the seeds. I did take the seeds and the veins out. I'm going to leave it in this, so this will be a hotter version. If you're doing this without gloves on, make sure you wash your hands good, but don't touch your eyes, because you're going to have the oils from these peppers on there for a while. So you just got to remember not to do that, or you're going to be hurting later. Alright guys, I'm going to cut the other 2 up, and when I get them done, I'll bring you back. Next, I'm going to do 2 sweet peppers. I'm just going to cut them like I did the jalapenos, just in little dices. And I'll get them all cut up and bring you back. Usually for my whole recipe, I use 1.5 bunches. I'm just going to cut the top part of this off, and we'll just use that for this. And we're just going to cut it up finely. Now, I love cilantro. Some people don't like it. A lot of people think it tastes like soap. I think it's one of those herbs you either like it or you don't like it. And if you don't like it, just leave it out. But I love it. I love the flavor it gives. I think I'm going to leave this as a chunky salsa. Sometimes I put it in the blender and just puree it down, which my family and friends, they like it both ways. So they just like to taste it. Tastes the same either way. It's just the texture is different. So I think I'm going to leave this chunky. But we'll keep cutting on this a little bit more. I brought my little chopper from upstairs, but that's okay. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, next we got garlic. I normally use 4 big ones. These are small, so I'm going to use 4 small ones instead of 2 regular size. To break the shell a little bit. Jeff had to go work storm trouble. So the dogs, if you hear them in the background, they're barking. Any little thing they hear when he leaves and I'm down here, they think somebody's coming in. Alright. We're just going to cut these and then just dice them up a little bit. I've worked on this recipe for several years now to get it to where this is pretty much perfect from what I like. And like I said, my friends and families all like this too. Get this in our bowl. Alright guys, I think the rest of the stuff is going to be seasoning, so let me get my pot back up here and I'll bring you right back. Alright, first we're going to have about 3/4 cup of sugar. Then we get a tablespoon of salt. I thought that was salt, but that's sugar. Hold on a second. We'll just use a pink Himalayan salt. Then we need cumin. About 3/4 of a tablespoon. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper flakes. And 1½ teaspoons of minced onions. 1½ tablespoons, rather, not teaspoons. A little bit more. And let me get my brown sugar. Supposed to be about 1/4 cup. Now you can add vinegar, lime juice. I usually do, if it's my whole thing, about a fourth of lime and a 1/4 cup of vinegar. But I'm just going to do about a 1/4 cup of just apple cider vinegar, just for a little more acidity to the peaches. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of citric acid to the whole pot. And that's pretty much, oh, that got me, our ingredients. But let me double check. So we had 10 cups of peaches, 3 cups of onions, 3/4 cup of sugar, roughly a 1/2 bunch of cilantro, 4 small garlic cloves, a 1/2 tablespoon of salt, 3 jalapenos, 2 small sweet peppers, about 3/4 tablespoon of cumin, a 1/2 tablespoon of pepper flakes, 1½ tablespoons of minced onions, and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And we're just gonna, excuse me, that citric acid got me strangled. Alright guys, we're over on the stove. I'm gonna get everything mixed together. And we're just gonna cook this down to let the onions and peppers cook a little bit. It'll get a little more liquidy as we cook it. We're just going to keep it stirred, and I'll bring you back as it cooks down a little more. You can see how it's already getting liquidy. Everything's cooking down. I wish you guys could smell this. It always smells so good when it's cooking. We're going to let it cook a little longer, let the peaches and everything get tender. Okay guys, this is the finished product, since we're not going to puree it down. I have a few pints. A little bit more on the top of that, and I'm going to leave a 1-inch head space. That's good. You have that one a little bit too full, I do. I'll get a little bit of it out in a second. Alright, I'm going to fill these jars. I probably got one more. So we got about 3 pints out of that. Alright, we got 4 pints total. Just going to wipe my rims off. I'm going to put them on finger tight. I'm going to pull that up on top of that one. Alright, so I'll put these in and we'll water bath them. Normally I would do 15 minutes, but I gotta do this other quart of peaches, so it ain't gonna hurt them to put it in there for 25 minutes. Alright, I've got the salsa and the 2 jars of peaches that I had left from the other water bath canner. And we're gonna just let these come up to a boil, and then we'll let them boil for 25 minutes. Salsa and peaches are done, so I'm going to take them out. Okay guys, that's the salsa. The peaches behind. Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed the videos.